Hey guys, what's up? We're going to try this again. Prime time, grind time, coming to you. And how big is your why? I'm going to challenge you guys with this. My last one, I just got disconnected and there was some things wrong with it. So I'm going to try it again in here. Hopefully challenge you a little bit in thinking about your why. So as we think about your why, you've probably heard me say this all the time. You got to know what your why is. Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you go to work? Why do you do it, what you do with your job, right? That's your why. So we're going to tackle this, but we're going to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to challenge you here a little bit as my coach did this week for me. As we were discussing it, he said, Ryan, what's your why? What's your why? Because before you can even grow your business or start to think about doing anything else with your business, you have to know what your why is. And so as I was thinking about what my why was, I wrote it down, I sent it to him, and we were discussing it via video chat. And he looks at me and he goes, Ryan, this is a great why, but I'm going to challenge you with a couple things. He goes, I think your why is too small. And I said, Rick, what do you mean my why is too small? And he said, well, first of all, your why can be much greater and bigger than what you just wrote down. And as I thought about it, he said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw a circle, and I want you to put you in that circle. And then I want you to draw another circle around that circle, and I want you to put us. And then he said, I wanted you to draw a third circle, and I want you to put them. And he goes, now I want you to think about your why as it relates to you and what you feel like your why is and why you do what you do every single day. He goes, then I want you to write your why for what it is for us, which means you and your family, not me and him. And he said, then third, I want you to write, what's your why for them? And them meaning, who are the people out there that you wish you would be able to impact and touch and maybe give financially to and those things. And it goes, I want you to define what your why is with those people. Why do you want to give, or why do you want to give back, or why do you want to support them? Why? What's the purpose of that? And I want you to define those things. So I want to challenge you guys with this. Let's stop thinking about the small circle that is just us and our why, right? We hear that story all the time about why do you get up out of bed every day and go to work? You got to have a motivation to get up and do what you want to do. And a lot of people are like, oh, I do it for my family. Okay, that's great. But why do you do it for your family? What is the purpose of doing it for your family? What does that look like? What are your goals moving forward? What happens when you hit a specific goal and you're trying to determine what it is next that you're going to do for your family? You've got to have a deeper why, right? So I'm going to give you an example, okay? This is what I wrote down personally for me, for my why, okay? I want him to increase and me to decrease. And what I mean by that is the foundation of my life is Jesus Christ. And so I want him to be known in every single thing that I do. That is the why. That is the legacy that I want to live here on this earth, is I want people to be drawn to the light and to see Christ in me in every single thing that I do. So that is my foundation. So what I did, though, is I wrote in my circle right there of you, and I put he in capital letters, greater than sign, I. He is greater than I. That's my why. Every single day, no matter if it's work related, whether it's my family related, my kids related, whatever it is, I want him to be greater in my life and less of me. Because the more there is of me, then the difficult it is where a lot of other things can start creeping in. So if I stay focused on keeping him at the center of every single thing I do, I stay humble. So that was my why, and that's what I wrote there. Then for us, I said, okay, for us, or to go back to my why a little bit, I said, why do I get up and go to work every day? Okay, how do I break down that? As far as leaving a legacy, then what it is that I do at work? Okay, so for me, my why at the core, then outside of that legacy, is I want to be a coach. I want to educate, I want to inform, I want to encourage. So as I'm working with clients on a daily basis, as I'm working with lenders, as I'm working with whoever it is that I'm coming in contact with, I want to make sure that I do those three things. I want to inform them, so maybe it's informing them of the current market and everything that's going on. I want to educate them, so I want to walk them through the steps necessary to accomplish the goals that it is that they want to accomplish. And then the last thing is I want to encourage them. I want to encourage them to get there, all right? And then obviously that trickles down into me actually coaching students in real estate and some of these other things. But that is at the core of my why when it comes to my business. Okay, then as I move on to my family, what does that look like? So I wrote out a core thing for my family, and how am I going to do that, and what's that look like from a spouse perspective. How do I love my wife and how do I love my kids more than anything else in the world and display that to them? I've got to define that why. That's the why of why I'm doing. So what is my why? Well, I want to provide. So I broke down and I put, I want to provide financially for them. I want to provide opportunities. And then I want to provide for them education when it comes to my kids. So those were the 3 things that I want to provide or I want to give to my family, right? And then I broke down the 3rd thing, and that was the them, and it was give. I want to give back. So what I want to do is I want to give financially, I want to give my time, and I want to give back. Those are my whys for breaking down moving forward. And I hope that challenges you. I hope that encourages you as you think about what are your whys in your life. And how does that affect you and others moving forward? Start thinking outside of the box, people. It is no longer just about us and just about our lives. It's about way more than that and a way bigger picture. It's about others. So get out there, define your whys, figure out what they are, and then go chase your dreams. Love you guys. Have a good day.